All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Puck Rock Rangers. I'm Stefan. This is Palmer, and today we finally have some hockey to talk about. So let's get into it. All right, so the time has come when we finally have been able to watch some hockey. It's been, I don't know about you, but for me, it feels like it's just been such a grueling, long off season. Uh, it's been a little bit boring. I've been, itching my neck for some hockey, and we finally got a little bit of it. We had the rookie series against the Philadelphia Flyers this weekend, and the Rangers went 1-1. They won a game, they lost a game, and yeah, we're just going to talk about that a little bit. But before we get into that, uh, anything new going on with your life? Anything new and exciting, or same old? What's up with you?
Oh, largely the same old. Summer is winding down, so like you said, it's been a long off season.
Hmm.
If you're a fan of Rangers playoff hockey, we didn't get any of that, and the season ended abruptly. Football started up, so for those of us or for those of you who have teams that are worthwhile, that's enjoyable. Spooky season's upon us. That's a great time of year. It starts to cool down. The bugs start to go away. You know, I I, I almost made it through the season without catching my yearly poison ivy. So I did end up with poison ivy. I'm actually still kind
Mm.
of fighting it, and yeah, just gearing up for the season. Little Bojack started training yesterday, so we went out to Goochland. It's like a large group of dogs, mostly pointers and other type of like working, sporting, hunting dogs, but doesn't have to be. Big group, lots of energy, and Bojack's doing great. He's a good little pup. We're working on him at home too, so and just gearing up for the season. Like I said, we're not far from preseason hockey. I think that's actually in another week or two. Camp is going on right now. Like Stefan just said, the Rangers rookie series just went on, and we'll get into that. But yeah, what's going on with you?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Um, I've been really busy at work, which is like a blessing and a curse. Um, I don't got a whole lot of free time, but my 3-year-old has started preschool. I don't know if our last episode was before that happened, but yeah, my 3-year-old started preschool, and she's a little hellion, already getting in trouble, and I don't know where she gets that from, but
Mm.
yeah, teachers are calling us and saying that she's doing cartwheels during nap time and waking all the other kids up. So we're trying to contain her and get her to kind of behave a little bit. Um, low key, like the wild man inside of me is like inside. I can't externally like let her know how proud I am, but like internally, I'm like, yeah, she's gonna be cool or whatever. But yeah, that's been good. Work's been good, and just been excited to watch a little bit of hockey, and I'm excited for the next season to start. Palmer might think this is a little bit interesting, but I watched the Giants opening season game. Uh, I don't really watch too much football, but I had some time. I was sitting around, and I decided I was going to cut the game on, so I watched it. And the Giants did not look good. Um, they just looked like they were the worst team. And I didn't get to watch the Cowboys game yesterday. Did you watch that?
Um, no, I actually did not watch it. I listened. Shout out Bad Dog Sports on YouTube. He does a lot of Giants content, a lot of Yankees content, and he usually will stream the game with his buddy Chris, the Entertainer. Shout out Entertainer. Both or just the Tana, I think. Just Chris the Tana. But anyways, those guys are great. We'll link them up if you're Giants fans. Look, the Giants. It was a shootout, man. I actually didn't want to talk about the Giants on this episode. So we'll keep it brief. They just find new ways to lose. Last season by Thanksgiving, I was checked out. It looks like we're going that way again. I live and die with the Rangers. I love the Giants, but it's easier for me to kind of like mid-season just turn my back if things aren't going great. I never pick a different team. I never, switch up like that. But it's just been year after year after year of worse than mediocrity. I'd actually settle for mediocre football. So
Yeah.
Let's move on to a more important, more endearing, and frankly a better sport. The Rangers and the Flyers rookies met. They did this last year. I'm not sure how many years straight they've done this.
Yeah.
John Chick always does a great job of covering these games. He's done that again this year. So check those episodes out on Locked On if you haven't. He'll cover it more in depth than we do. But I watched these games both at kind of the same capacity. I watched them on my phone while I was doing other things. So I kind of saw some things and had a feel for the game, but I did not see every single moment. There was a lot of things that happened that I kind of had to watch replays. But I will say, Morrow from the kid we picked up from Carolina in that
Yeah,
trade,
he looked
he
good.
looked really good.
Yeah.
And so did Noah Laba. Noah Laba is a big bodied center that a lot of people are high on. And, I've even seen, I've even seen people on Twitter saying make him the 3C. I'd like to maybe see more before I'm there, but I'm not really impressed with the 3C options, and Noah Laba looked pretty good. What do you think about the rookie games?
I really liked what I saw from Othman. I think Brendan Othman had a great series. First game and second game. I don't know exactly how in depth you watched. I didn't get to watch the first game, or I watched the whole first game, and then the second game I didn't get to watch it because I was at a cowboy themed Western style party. But as soon as I got home, I went back and rewatched it,
Shout out Woody.
and you saw Othman for that. He just straight undressed the defenseman. Did you see that play?
I did see
And he
that.
sent it over to,
Was that
was
Morrow's
it Morrow's
power play
goal?
goal?
I think it was either Morrow or I don't know. But
Yeah,
it's hard to know with it's hard to be 100% on
yeah, and
remembering.
like I said, full transparency. I watched it kind of on my phone along with other things. So I am not I'm not here to break down the games fully. Just kind of going off of what I saw and kind of the vibes. It felt like game one. I thought the Flyers set the tone physically. Rangers jumped out ahead and then just kind of, I don't want to say blew it, but kind of let the lead fade away and then lost in overtime, right? The second game they come out, score two quick ones, and they just never look back. I think it ended up being 5-1 or 5-2.
Yeah, it was 5-2 at the
That's a
end.
pretty solid win in my book. And it never was close. It was a good game, but it was never close on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I will say that the Flyers was really a one-line team. Every single time anything happened, it was that uh Dart, was it Dart, not Dart, I'm
I,
trying to think of the name, but it was three dudes on that team on their first line. And it was every single thing that happened for them was those three people. And the Rangers had a little bit more. I feel like it was a little more diverse with like people who were contributing. That first game, it did seem like we got outcompeted a little bit. We spent most of the game defending, despite having the 2 goal jump early on. But the second game, it seemed like the Rangers kind of figured out what they needed to do a little differently. Uh, they weren't getting pinned in their zone as much. They were able to generate offense, and yeah, it gave us a little bit of perspective on what we may have to look forward to in the future here with a couple of these guys. So it was just good to see some good fashion hockey from the team that you love, even if it is just the prospects and rookies.
yeah, agreed. I mean, it's to me, it's right on par with preseason hockey. I mean, you know, maybe obviously less NHL full timers, but you got guys fighting for spots, guys that'll be in the NHL or AHL on Hartford and in other leagues. Just trying to get the come up. So it's good hockey. It came right, perfect timing. It was nice to kind of have some hockey to watch this weekend. I was telling Stefan off air or before we recorded. I woke up this morning, was kind of upset that there was no hockey game. So I mean, that means that the season is coming, and it'll be right on time to watch this summer of shit away.
What do you think about all the fighting in it?
Lots of fighting, lots
Lots
of
of fighting.
chippiness. There was that a couple fights in the first game. There was one in particular, and I don't know the players, but good scrap, good spirited scrap. I thought the Flyers player got the better of the Ranger a little bit. Then there was a fight yesterday where I thought the Ranger got the better of the Flyer, but all in all, you know, good chippy contest, but there was nothing super dirty, no elbows being, it was good hockey, man,
Dude,
really.
I am cooked because I was hyper focused when I was watching the two games. I was hyper focused every single player that did everything. I was remembering the names. I was I was bought in. I was keeping up with it, and now it's like one day later, and I'm like, oh, that guy with the blue helmet. I can't remember any of their names right now, so it's killing me. I'm just cooked, guys, and
Yeah, I would. I'm not
sorry.
arguing that you're not cooked, but and I am cooked, and I can't remember.
No.
Um, and I didn't watch that intently. And a lot of the names, we're psychos, so we listen and we know some of the Rangers prospects, but the general, casual fan probably doesn't watch the game. But if they do watch those rookie series, they don't know any of those guys. Maybe know Brendan Othman and Gabe Perreault, but that's probably it.
Yeah, I do want to do a quick shout out to my boy Logan. He's a huge Rangers fan, and he never fails to like just shoot the shit with me back and forth during the games. We're always kicking it back and forth the entire anytime anything Rangers is going on. He's probably like my top dog for like kicking it back and forth. And Shane, we got to give a shout out to Shane too because
Yeah,
he's in the
hot
group
stuff.
chat.
Hello.
Yeah, old Shane hot stuff. He's in the group chat with me and Palmer. So shout out to our hockey boys. And what else do we have on the game notes today?
Well, and real quick with that shout out in mind,
Yeah,
we haven't said this on the show a while. Summer kind of came and gone, but send us a DM on Instagram, uh,
yeah,
comment on YouTube. We're here to answer your questions. We'll give you a little shout out,
nope.
and we'll discuss. Doesn't have to be Ranger questions too. If you're not a Ranger fan, ask us your other teams questions, and we'll try to answer. Try to engage. Maybe talk a little shit. See how things go. So what else do we have? So I figured we would kind of review the Metro. The Metro is not the gauntlet that it usually is. It's usually one of the better divisions. It has not been the last couple seasons. It doesn't look like it's going to be again. I look at the division. Not a lot of teams have made a lot of movement, gotten a lot better. Just to kind of give you the rundown of what teams are in the Metro. You got the Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Capitals, Flyers, Penguins, Hurricanes, and Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hmm.
So all teams we're pretty familiar with, all teams we don't like. How do you think the Rangers measure up with the rest of the Metro?
I don't know. I don't know. Um,
Great answer.
I I'm gonna write that if anyone's seen Fast Times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that on the
Oh
board.
shit.
I don't know.
I like that.
Shout out Spicoli.
Shout out Mr. Hand.
Yeah, Mr. Hand. All right, so yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how to gauge them. They underperformed so poorly last season, and they got rid of a few pieces that may have been locker room cancers. For we don't know. They brought in a few pieces. I have no idea how they're going to do. Do I think they're going to be first in the division? No, I don't. But um, it all depends on how the rest of the division does. Really, that's what it all. And it sucks because last year our playoffs hopes depended on what the rest of the division did, and I'm going into this season. I'm feeling the same way. Like what the other teams do is going to depend on how the Rangers turn out this season.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I predict the Rangers will be right in the mix. I think they're as good as any other team in the Metro. Carolina has been kind of the class of the Metro, but the Rangers have been right behind them, and we tend to beat them in the playoffs. So I kind of like the way we line up with them. The Devils are a team that is hard for me to rate
Another one. Same with
because
them.
if the Devils got to play the Rangers every night, they'd be probably the greatest team in NHL history. They just show up to playoffs. Jack Hughes loves to embarrass us, and they just play hard against us. And then I watch them against other teams, and they look very average. They look mediocre. They look soft, frankly. And I'm not, I don't like the Devils, so I'm maybe talking a little shit, but they do. If they
No, you're
didn't look
right.
soft, I would say objectively they look tough. They don't. They're not a tough team. They're soft. You know, and I just don't get it. But year after year, people have them, winning the Metro. They squeaked into the playoffs last year. They really didn't, make any noise. So I'm not high on the Devils. I'm not high on the Islanders. The Islanders are rebuilding. I think the Islanders are a team we're going to be talking about next couple of years.
Yeah, I just want to say it almost seems as if like Carolina is like kind of like they're kind of like the control of the Metro. Like they're the most consistent team. But if you were to ask me, like team by team, what do I think is going to happen? It's so hard to gauge because the Capitals, I think they overperformed last year. It wouldn't surprise me if they took quite a step back this next season. The Islanders, I think they're just going to stay mid like they've been. Columbus is tricky because they got a young team who seemed to gel really well last year, and if things go well for them, they could kind of sneakily climb the standings this year. Pittsburgh, they're in the middle of a rebuild, so they're not a super huge threat right now. It's tricky because our division, the entire division, is so there's so many question marks that it's just hard to even make like a guess of who's going to be where at the end. But if the Rangers can just kind of keep up with, if all I can really hope for is that the Rangers can be like as good as the Devils with a healthy Jack Hughes. If Jack Hughes is healthy, the Devils, they're a good team. If the Rangers can at least kind of compete with them a little bit, I would be very, very satisfied.
This may be a very biased take, but I look at these teams in the Metro, and the Rangers grossly underachieved last season. I mean, underachieved is an understatement. They just flat out gave up, in December and January, and then didn't have enough horses and enough really things going on to kind of will their way into the playoffs. This year is a lot different. I think if the Rangers live up to live up to expectation and live up to that roster and live up to who they are, they could win the division. I mean, they've proven it. It's funny because like if they didn't fall on their face last year, we'd be talking about the Rangers right in there. I predicted
Hmm.
them to win the Metro last year. I'm not going to do that right now, but I think they can. I think it's possible. It's a weak division. It's a weak East. Once you get outside of a couple top tier teams,
Yeah.
I think I said last year that Washington was going to be good. They were. I think they got a boost from chasing that record. They got the record, and in the playoffs they kind of showed that they weren't really that great. I think I think they're still in the mix, but take a step back. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are both going to be shit this season again. Carolina's going
Good.
to be good. Columbus Blue Jackets is kind of like your dark horse pick. If someone's going to kind of surprise people, you think it would be them. And then yeah, the Islanders are rebuilding, so I think the Rangers can measure right up, man. I think it's theirs for the taking in a weak division.
Ironically, the way the Devils play the Rangers is kind of the way the Rangers play the Hurricanes because the Rangers can play the Hurricanes and the Hurricanes can be firing on all cylinders. And maybe with the exception of last season because the Rangers were such garbage, the Rangers always seem to be able to find a way to kind of stick it to the Hurricanes in the long run on the end game, and that's how it is kind of with the Devils with us. So like the Hurricanes could be better than the Devils, and the Devils will beat us, and then we'll be beating the Hurricanes. It's just weird how hockey works sometimes. You can play the team's strengths and weaknesses, and I'll be excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, I will too. So something I wanted to get into. You want to talk about the Metro anymore? Are you
No,
good?
I'm good. I think we covered it pretty well.
Something I wanted to just bring up quickly, and this doesn't affect our life as much because we're Southerners and we live out here in Richmond, and we don't get to a lot of Ranger games.
Howdy.
But the Rangers did announce their Centennial season theme nights and initiatives. I'm not going to go down the list. I don't remember them, but I did look them up. As per usual for this team, nothing particularly sexy or fun or different or wild.
Like
It's
all the usual stuff,
it's mostly based. It's based.
military pride, all that good
No,
stuff.
it's not even that. It's based around history. It's like
Oh,
best
cool.
Ranger. Yeah, so it is cool on that. If you're an appreciator of history, the Rangers do have a lot of that. Um, they're going to be really leaning into that. The team being around a while, all the different players that have come through. So look on the Rangers website has a list of all the different themes and the nights. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of giveaways. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of bobbleheads and all kinds of cool stuff. So keep an eye out for that. And as out of town fans, we'll keep an eye on you on eBay for that stuff.
I saw something about we'll get to see Sam Rosen on the first on opening night.
Yeah, I
He'll
heard.
be he'll be doing like the ceremony, something ceremonial.
I didn't hear that, but I did hear that Sam Rosen is going to be a part of a few of these theme nights and initiatives they're doing. So keep an eye out for that. Speaking of Rangers history, and this is way before our time, but I did want to at least shout it out. Rest in peace, Rangers goalie great Eddie Giacomin.
I saw that.
Obviously, like I said before our time, he played in the '60s and '70s,
He was
retired in
born in what, 30?
'77.
He was born in what, 39?
Yeah, so this
Born in
is
1939. He
this is
was
old time hockey, as they
good
would
long
say.
life.
But 290 wins, six-time All Star, and Rangers retired his number one. So
Nice. Yeah, rest in peace.
rest in peace. Our regards to the family and the fans.
Yes.
I'm a fan by default, but obviously too young to have watched him play and really know much about the guy. But R.I.P. Man, Rangers legend. So I don't have much else. We're right here. Summer is winding down. What do you? I mean,
No, we knew it would be a
we
short
knew it'd be a
episode
short
today.
episode. Yeah.
We didn't have a whole lot. We just wanted to kind of get in here, give a rundown over the rookie series, and talk a little bit of Rangers hockey because me and Palmer, we get excited. So yeah, so it's not gonna be a super long episode. I think we kind of touched on pretty much what we wanted to get out of this episode,
A, a
right?
couple. Yeah, I would just end it with a couple house cleaning notes.
Yeah.
We do plan on, if not next week, very soon, getting back to every week episodes. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't please like, follow, subscribe. There's new buttons on YouTube I'm seeing. So check out the hype button and all these other different buttons. If you want to press those, it helps us out. Tell a friend, tell a hockey fan. We're trying to grow the channel, and we can't do that without you guys. Um, back in June, I did want to say something about this too. Back in June, we had Heavy as the Head in studio
Yeah.
for a interview and live set. Both of those videos are on our Instagram and their Instagram if you want to check them out. We are working behind the scenes to get those full videos posted. We
Yes.
apologize about the delay. It's
I'm
just been
sorry.
a bunch of this and that. We won't give you all the excuses. Some technological stuff, technical stuff going on, but we're getting through it. I hope to get those posted very soon. And I'm reaching out to some bands soon, so we'll get some other episodes like that set up.
Cool. Cool.
And then I just have some kind of fun ideas, things I want to introduce once the season gets going. So Steph and I will put our heads together on that and maybe come up with some fun ideas for this season coming up. Season's right around the corner, so we're amping up for it.
Yeah, we got to get back to like doing our Rangers crush and just fun little
Yeah,
tidbits,
lots of new
things,
faces, so we're
stuff
definitely
like that.
overdue for an updated Rangers crush list. And I just have some ideas we can maybe incorporate into the show that
Yeah.
might make things a little more interesting.
Cool. So yeah, like, follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and that's it for me. That's it for you.
That is it for me.
So forever hold your peace.
Until next time,
LFGR, baby.
thank you guys.